On the confluence of the three rivers, a big 3 points up for grabs in the Atlantic Division. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds dropped their first two home matches of the season. Looking to rectify that tonight as they welcome a dangerous, veteran-laden Miami FC to Highmark Stadium. It's the first ever meeting between these two franchises in USL, and we're excited to bring it to you tonight with Manchester United great Gary Bailey. I'm Joe Malfa. It's not the start Pittsburgh wanted to this season, Gary, but they're right there by that playoff line with Miami.
Yeah, it's a long way to go in this season, but you don't want to fall too far behind, and this is a good battle for both Miami FC and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds to see who can get into that playoff place. You'd rather be in the top four than just on the outside.
It's so early in the season, but as we get into the summer, the games are going to be coming hot and heavy, and that standings graphic will change a lot. They will look to Russell Cicerone and Canado Forbes to help move them up the ladder.
They certainly will. 3 goals this season. No one else has got more than a goal for Pittsburgh. Very dangerous player, Cicerone, and even in the last match against Austin Bold, he was the one who got on the end of the crosses. And then this man here, got to do more because he is such a good player. I mean, US all-time leader in assists. Last couple of matches hasn't dominated. Today has got to be Canado Forbes Day.
There's been a lot of turnover in the Miami roster from last year to this year. The results have been there. They're in that 4th place spot right now. First ever meeting against Pittsburgh on the road. What do they need to do to rectify their last match in which they collapsed late?
They did collapse. They were 2-0 up, ended up losing 4-2 to RGV. They did have a player sent off. They had an own goal there. Just it all went wrong for them basically from the moment of the red card. What they've got to do is put this away, forget about it, get on with it. It's a very loaded squad, Miami FC. No reason why they can't go all the way this year, but they have to forget about that defeat to RGV.
It's a great division. 2 of these teams hope to be in the playoffs. Miami, Pittsburgh, meeting for the first ever time in USL. It's coming up from Highmark Stadium in just a few moments on ESPN+. Stick with us. The action after the break.
Before, you weren't able to walk very far.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. I couldn't even get out of bed sometimes.
How are you walking now?
I'm walking 6 miles a day.
Awesome.
Getting control back is living proof. The AHN Neuroscience Institute.
Just in time for the start of the 2021 season, we're offering Riverhounds Mini Flex Plan. Flex Plans are 6 vouchers to use any way you want over the 2021 season to catch the Hounds in action. Use them all for one game or spread them out through the season. With 3 different plans starting at $90, you can choose anywhere in Highmark Stadium to cheer on the Hounds. Visit riverhounds.com or call 412-865-GOAL.
Playing Mining for Millions from the PA Lottery can make you feel like you're on cloud 9. And now's your chance to ride that feeling all the way to top prizes of $1 million.
Hey, any luck today?
Still up in the air.
Keep on scratching.
Summer is almost here, and so are the Riverhounds Academy Summer Technical Clinics. We have 3 sessions which are geared to players interested in developing technical skills in multiple areas over the course of the week. Clinics are led by Riverhounds Development Academy trainers and current professional Riverhounds players. Clinics start July 5th. Open to players 7 to 14 years old. Register online or contact the Academy office at 412-325-7238.
Just about set to get things going at Highmark Stadium. Joe Malfa here alongside Manchester United great Gary Bailey in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where these teams are set to meet for the first time in USL history. We take a look at the lineup that will be out there. Paul Dalglish and Miami.
Yep, 4 changes from the team that lost 2-4 to RGV. Out go Chapman Page to the bench. Othello Bar's on international duty. Akinyoda, as we know, is suspended, and Reed goes to the bench. In comes Richard Ballard, Janos Lobe, Luca Antonelli. We've got to talk about him soon, and Robert Baggio.
On the flip side, Pittsburgh, A lot of the same faces that Bob Lilly will rely on to help steer this ship in the right direction.
Yeah, but still 3 changes from his side that lost 1-0 to Austin Bold. Jelani Peters in for Wheat, Todd Wharton in for Rivera, and Russell Cicerone, very importantly, in for Perez. So, yeah, they will rely on the likes of Forbes and Williams and Kilwine at the back and Vitiello in goals. But they've got to turn it around at home. Joe, not good enough. 2 games, no wins, no goals scored at home. Come on, home fans, give Pittsburgh Riverhounds some support.
And part of the issue has been conceding early changes games when you go down and teams can start sitting in. It's something that Bob Lilly spoke with us this week.
Yeah, this was the match against Charlotte, going 1-0 down early. Lovely ball in and great header there from Para. And you've got to fight back into the game. And it was even worse against Austin Bold because the ball comes here, gets laid up to Colin Fernandez. He hits it absolutely magnificently. It was a second minute, and they just couldn't get a reply, Pittsburgh. So, yeah, ideally, don't go behind.
Brad Jensen in charge of this match, waiting for his whistle to get things going. Pittsburgh in the black, Miami in the blue. Riverhounds start things off going from right to left at Highmark Stadium. And Gary, in talking about the lineups for both of these teams, so many guys, so many moving pieces who are very versatile, so we could see these lineups morph as the game goes along.
Yeah, we're not 100% sure just exactly how they're going to line up. We know the players on the pitch that we've been given, but they do play different shapes. Miami often 4-2-3-1. Sometimes they play the diamond with the 2 up front. Often play with the false 9. These are all technical terms for just players in slightly different positions. At first glance, it looks like a 4-4-2 for Miami. They are missing Speedy Williams, of course. Massive loss for them.
Over the top, flag goes up, and that will stop things. Pittsburgh nearly getting the early goal after conceding early a couple of times, but the flag goes up on Dequa.
That's the idea. That's what Bob Lilly wanted when he spoke to us. Get that early goal, get ahead. And slightly offside there. I want to just get that timing absolutely right. But positive start from the Riverhounds at home.
Bob Lilly chatted with us this week about how to navigate this stage of the early season. He feels their performances are getting better and better. The results haven't quite caught up to how they're playing yet, and so much of it, as you mentioned, Gary, stems from conceding early because it changes the entire complexion of the match.
It does change the complexion, but good teams have to fight back from being down, and they were unable to do that in these 2 home matches where they struggled, Pittsburgh, especially against Austin Bold. I mean, they went down in the 2nd minute. They had plenty of time to get back.
Chance to go up early, and it's punched away by Sparrow.
Good ball in, by the way, from Preston Kilwine. That's much better. Already we've seen more in the first 2 minutes from Riverhounds than I think we saw in the entire match against Austin Bold. It wasn't until injury time that Pittsburgh really got going.
Well, it already is a better start because we're about to cross the 2-minute mark and they haven't conceded yet.
Here's this ball from Kilwine again. Just aiming for that near post, and up front so sharp. Russell Cicerone in particular is such a threat in the air for Pittsburgh. Twice came close against Austin Bold in the last couple of minutes of that game.
Richard Ballard to get it back into play for Miami. We mentioned the lineup changes for Miami. So much of that has to do with the international duties. Ba gone, Williams gone, and then a couple guys on the bench who have just returned from international duty where maybe not quite, we don't know 100% what the case is, but maybe just not quite ready yet after all the travel they've had to endure this week.
Yeah, travel does impact a player, and as a manager, Paul Dalglish will be well aware of that. He might also be resting 1 or 2 after the collapse against RGV, as if to say, look, guys, if you're going to chuck away a 2-goal lead and lose 4-2, maybe go on the bench and think about it. Who knows exactly what his reasons are, but he's still got a fantastic squad. And Luca Antonelli must be an exciting one for Paul Dalglish to have in his team. You've got a man who has played 13 times for Italy, the last cap being in 2016, which is only 5 years back. Wow. Do you have a special talent in your side?
Not only that, but 258 appearances in Serie A with a variety of teams. AC Milan, Bari, Parma, Genoa, Empoli. Most of those coming with Genoa.
But you don't get to play for Italy unless you are, I mean, you've got wonderful skills. And they're lucky to get him. Evidently, with Serie B shut down last year due to COVID, and with all the contacts that the owner Ricardo Silva has. Remember, he got Alessandro Nesta to be the coach a couple of seasons ago, which was amazing to get a name as big as that. So obviously Ricardo Silva has important contacts there in Italy.
And a nice little nugget that you uncovered for us this week is that Paco Craig speaks fluent Italian, so Antonelli will have some comfort with his native tongue back there on the back line.
Yeah, which always helps when you come in, from abroad without being able to. I assume he doesn't speak great English. I don't know, but it's an assumption. Having someone who speaks fluent Italian is going to be very helpful.
For Antonelli, this is his first start not on Italian soil. Made an appearance already once this season, but his first start not on Italian soil for a club team.
It's great for players around him, whether it is the likes of Paco Craig, who at 28 is, he's quite a mature player, but there's a lot of younger players. You look at Anglin playing in midfield at 20 and De Silva at 22, and to have a I almost said World Cup, an Italian international. I bet he wish he did play in a couple of World Cups for Italy.
Opportunity brewing for Miami, but on the back end, it's Williams who's able to clear.
To finish that, the experience that he brings to a team for youngsters, it's what you dream of, playing with a player with 13 international caps for Italy.
Mikael Williams, Jelani Peters in the center of that defense for Pittsburgh tonight. Kilwine, Dover on the outsides. Kilwine battling there with Ballard. Renato Forbes puts a foot in. Jelani Peters sends it over the top. Nobody in the area on the far side.
Yeah, look, it wasn't the greatest of balls, but at least it's positive compared to the last two home games. I'm sure the Riverhounds fans are going, great, this is good. Get the ball in their half. Let's put them under pressure. Let's see what we can get. And I'm sure Bob Lilly has had a few stern words, shall we say politely, with these players to say, hey, we need to improve, especially at home.
Over the top again. Peters sends it up into the sun, which has just peeked out from behind the clouds a bit more. Taken down in the middle. Griffin still battling for it. And it's last off of a black jersey. Renato Forbes was somebody that Bob Lilly spoke to us at length about this week, where he feels he's playing well, but not necessarily playing how he wants him to play in that midfield, a little bit too far back, wants him to join the attack a little bit more.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when you're as good as Renato Forbes is, as a manager, he can do damage on the edge of the box. He can be the one that prizes open those defenses, such as Austin Bold and Charlotte, that they weren't able to break down. And he needs to take his skills further up the pitch. Let others work behind him, with all due respect to the others, because he has that amazing ability, Renato Forbes.
All the way back to Vidiello, throws it into Kilwine, who's crossing the first minute of the match, yielded the best opportunity so far. Dequa can't handle it. These teams on each other's heels in the standings. Fourth place Miami, 3-3-0 to start things off, coming off of a 4-2 loss to RGV, and then Pittsburgh in fifth place at 2-3-1 after that 1-0 loss to Austin. Giveaway in the middle. Forbes looking to spring Dequa. Confident from Sparrow that far out.
You can see how direct that ball was from Forbes, just straight through the middle. Wasn't the best of passes, but he's like, let me just get it there and let's at least try and put Miami FC under pressure.
Palacios looking inside, unable to find the target. Francois pressures, earns the throw. Cristiano Francois, 27 years old, has some experience playing with Bob Lilly back in 2017 with the Rhinos, and 2018 with the Hounds. Francois. Palacios thought about a ball in. Taken away through the middle. It was Dover pressing up. Now it's Dixon in space. He was the creator the last couple of matches for Pittsburgh. In front to the corner. The start that Pittsburgh wanted. The man who's done it for them all year. It's Russell Cicerone.
That's a good finish from Cicerone, but a great run from Alex Dixon. So positive early on, everything Bob Lilly asked for, direct, vertically, very, very quick. Alex Dixon, good pace, gets in there. Cicerone joins him. Maybe some question marks about the Miami defending, but again, winning the ball in midfield. Absolutely brilliant. Look at that, get forward. Alex Dixon, got pace, get into the box, head up, try and find anyone making a run. Cicerone unmarked, but sticks it in the corner. Great finish.
Just mentioning that the last couple of positive results for Pittsburgh, Dixon has been the one to spring them. He had a cross that led to an own goal, an assist, and then helped draw a foul for a penalty against Loudon. Now here gets the assist for Cicerone to start things off.
This is exactly the way I think all Riverhounds fans want their team to play. The last 2 home games, they've been so negative in comparison, but if they come out firing here, absolutely brilliant start for the Hounds.
That one just out for a goal kick. That was the theme of our conversation this week with Bob Lilly, starting strong, especially at home. We mentioned the game earlier this year against Charlotte, conceded in the 34th minute, never got it back, lost 1-0. Last week, conceded in the 1st minute to Austin, lost 1-0, never got it back. Now they go up 1-0 quickly.
There he is. He'll be a lot happier. He's such a good coach, Bob Lilly. He knows what he wants, and sometimes early in a season it doesn't quite gel.
Maybe a chance to double it. Cicerone can't thread it through a decoy.
We'll have to ask the question about Miami FC marking in the box. Shouldn't really allow Cicerone with a free strike. If he's under pressure is one thing, but he had time to pick his spot past Connor Sparrow. You shouldn't allow that. Shouldn't allow any striker that sort of time in the box.
Forbes draws the foul from Palacios. Chance to get a second now on the free kick if they can set it up right.
Yeah, Forbes in that attacking role you were talking about. He has been pushed up and immediately makes a difference, doesn't he?
Forbes quickly sends it in through the middle. Ballard heads it aside. Still kept alive by Wharton. Out for Dixon, who takes it after Cicerone leaves it because he was offside. Pressure in from Griffin. Battling through.
That's good pressure from the Hounds. Not letting Miami FC settle down. And when you 1-0 up, that's good to do. You don't want them to come flying back at you and start creating opportunities. Lock them in, make them struggle to get out, put them on the back foot even more. Excellent from the Hounds so far.
Dixon already with the assist. That one not quite the same service. The Riverhounds are back in action at Highmark Stadium Friday, June 25th at 7 p.m. for the New York Red Bulls to come to town. You can visit riverhounds.com or call the box office at 412-865-GOAL. Individual tickets are on sale now.
There's something else that's very important about this goal is this is a very, very tough group, extremely tough. I mean, never mind Tampa Bay Rowdies are just knocking off virtually everybody in sight, but you've got Charleston, we've mentioned, Charleston Battery, we've mentioned Charlotte already, Hartford have a decent team, and then of course these two here, and only 4 can go through. So even this early in the season, this is what you call a 6-pointer. If Pittsburgh win, they're knocking out one of the teams that could, they could be fighting for a place, for that 4th or 3rd place. So it's of vital importance, this match. And for Miami, you can't, when you're 2-0 up against RGV, you lose 4-2, come here and lose, suddenly your whole season can unravel. So yeah, critical for both sides.
And it was such a positive start to the season for Miami. Went out, got a lot of players, pretty much an entirely new roster as compared to last year. And now missing the likes of Speedy Williams tonight, which is such a massive loss for them.
Yeah, he is. He's such a good player, Speedy Williams, always has been. But I mean, they've got enough strength and depth, Miami, to still cause all sorts of problems here.
Over the top, but out to grab it, Vitiello. And anybody who's just joining us, do want to clarify, no injury to Speedy Williams. He is just on international duty at the moment. as are many players during this window in CONCACAF with World Cup qualifying going on.
Yeah, the other one being Othello Bar, who's playing for Liberia. And as you quite rightly mentioned, a number of players coming back from international travels like Billy Forbes, who perhaps the coaches thought, well, he needs a bit of a rest. And that's what Paul Dalglish has done. Put him on the bench, and those are his go-to players should he need them towards the end of this match.
Billy Forbes just had his World Cup qualifying round with Turks and Caicos end in the group stage. Now this week moving on to the knockout phases in CONCACAF. Couple of pump fakes from Kilwine, now gets it in to Dequa, back to goal. Forbes was calling for it, goes to Dixon instead. Looking for a switch, and he floats it all the way across for Dover. Brilliantly chested down. Heavy challenge, top of the box. Cicerone in some pain. Officials say play on. Cicerone not yet to his feet. Good balancing act by Griffin. Still with it, going west to east. Quarter of an hour gone. Russell Cicerone's goal in the 9th minute on the assist from Alex Dixon. The difference right now. With Gary Bailey, I'm Joe Malfa. Thanks for tuning in this evening. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Miami FC, both coming off of losses in the last week. Dixon, end line, already one assist, pokes it forward. Dequa turning. All the way across, shot comes in from Dover, it's blocked.
Good play again. It's coming through Alex Dixon down that left-hand side, and as you mentioned, against Loudon, he was involved in all 3 goals. And with Cicerone darting into the box and Dequa acting as a target man, look at this pace. Turns and gets past Richard Ballard, who can't catch up with him, still controls it, head up, finds Dequa, and he squares it across, just looking for anybody to get on the end of it. Again, lovely positive play, and I commentated on both the Austin Bold and the Charlotte matches, and trust me, they weren't the best advertisement for Pittsburgh. They really struggled, the Riverhounds, to get going. What a difference this is, first 15 minutes.
I'll remember that each of the Pittsburgh matches you've been involved in have had the early goals.
Yeah, and I was beginning to think it was me, so thank heavens they've lightened up a little bit, and they're positive and they're going forward. Of course, if you're a Miami FC fan, you're asking the question now, you know, how good is a team? Can they pick themselves up from going one behind? Pittsburgh couldn't in their previous 2 home matches. Can Miami in this match? And that's an important question that Paul Dalglish will be wondering what the answer will be. He's got enough good players to do that. You know, Martinez in particular, 35 years of age up front, all that experience. How can he bring in the other Miami FC players, and how can they get themselves back into this game?
Something that Bob Lilly harped on this week, talking about responding from a loss. Both of these teams trying to do that, and both of them losing in totally polar opposite ways. Pittsburgh conceding in the 1st minute and never getting it back. Miami giving up a big lead and losing 4-2 against RGV. The red card factored in, of course, but still.
Bob Lilly just taking a rest. He was on his feet for a few minutes giving out instructions. Yeah, that red card to Akinyoda was it's one of those red cards that I think must annoy management, because it wasn't an tackle, it was a lash out. It's the stuff you should be able to emotionally control. You get sent off, you're 2-1 up at the time, you end up losing 4-2. Everyone's going to point to the red card and say that was the turning point. And Elvis Samoa with a hat-trick, he really punished Miami FC after that sending off. And as I say, that you wonder if at some point they look back, they finish 5th and don't make the playoffs, they'll look back at that sort of moment in that game and those points lost and think, well, you know, how crucial were those points?
Nice build from Miami here. Long spell of possession. Craig trying to thread it through unsuccessfully. Looking for Francois. And it's back the other way. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. All the way back for Sparrow. Not much he could have done on the goal scored by Cicerone.
Here's Luca Antonelli, the Italian international. Great left foot, ability to read the game, pick out the right passes. Just wondering where he was for the goal, because again, question marks as to who was defending Cicerone.
And now, as a goalkeeper yourself, you get a new center back in there making his first start. How difficult is that sometimes to integrate?
Well, especially with the language barrier. Because, you know, if you're just shouting away, who's to say that someone understands you?
That one comes in, but wide.
So, yeah, there's the language side of it. As you mentioned, Paco Craig speaks Italian, but the other players are around Antonelli, like Ballard or Janos Lobe, Palacios, I assume they don't speak Italian. So, yeah, it is a little bit of settling in. Is this just a shot coming just wide from Forbes? Again, Forbes on the edge of the box. That's where you want to see him.
Give away at the back, in front, Dequa chips it. Over the netting, flag stayed down. Nearly disastrous at the back for Miami.
Yeah, Connor Sparrow taking chances. I'm just not a fan of this sort of thing at the back. You know, allowing defenders to come and put you under pressure or put your centre back under pressure. Forbes doing really well, and Dequa just over the bar. You know, yeah, knock it around the back when you're not being pressurized. The moment you get pressurized, get it out and get it down the pitch.
Sparrow launches it. Kilwine nods it down. Dixon sends it back the other way. Outside of that one good build of possession a couple of moments ago, we haven't seen Miami on the ball much, and now they're on their heels again. Forbes pulling the strings in the attack. Dixon end line all the way in front, across, and it's blocked in front. Flag went up in the end. Not sure who it was for.
That's another fantastic move from Pittsburgh. Dixon's pace on that left-hand side causing all sorts of problems. In the end, a pity about the offside. Let's have a look at it again.
Might have been Dixon early on here.
It's Forbes is just waiting. Maybe he waited a second too long to actually pass the ball. And Dequa nearly gets near post, Cicerone far post. Perhaps you got to look at Forbes and say, could have just set that ball off a second earlier. But again, lovely play. To be fair, in the last match against Austin Bolt, Cicerone didn't start, and maybe they just miss his incisiveness in the box. Now, Alex Dixon needs a figure to aim for when he makes his runs, and as you mentioned, Forbes was too deep. Now that Forbes is up, suddenly Dixon's getting more dangerous passes in good areas.
And on the replay, you could see it was Dixon who was offside. Wasn't sure when the shot came in from Cicerone if they got Dequa for the offside. He was in an advanced position as well, but Dixon, the guilty party.
Yeah, he's guilty, but sometimes if you're making a run, you're dependent on the man passing the ball to measure your run and put you in. And again, I think Forbes went to pass it, stopped, then passed it, and by then it was too late.
But already, as you mentioned, Gary, we've seen Renato Forbes a lot further up. How many times have I already had to say his name, whether on a shot or on an incisive pass? And that's something that was lacking per Bob Lilly in the past couple of matches.
100% was lacking, that he was far too deep. They were playing too defensive, and they found out the hard way. Cost them a couple of losses at home.
Francois, Ballard dummies it. Dixon steals it.
But it's always easy after the event, you know. If Bob Lilly knew, he would have pushed him up a lot earlier. But had they've got a good 1-0 away win, or even home win, playing defensively, the coach would have said, well, there you go, I made the right decision. It's only afterwards he's made the change, but what a change it is.
Contact in the box. Clean, says Brad Jensen. Francois went down after the challenge.
Yeah, referee gets to see it in a split second, make a call. There didn't seem to be much argument from player or anybody else on Miami FC, so seems like it was the right decision.
On close plays like that, I always enjoy seeing the players sort of policing themselves. You can always tell by their reactions. If there's no argument, or on a split bang-bang play, if it's going out for a corner or goal kick, you just leave it up to them. See which way they're walking, let them dictate it. And no arguments there, so play on, rightfully so, from Brad Jensen.
Well, that's true of many players, but not all. There are some players who will go down and act like they've been shot by a sniper, and it happens fairly often at the top level, and it's tough for referees. I mean, they do have the benefit today of VAR normally at the highest level. Here today, our referee doesn't, Brad Jensen. So again, respect to referees. They've got to make these split-second decisions and get it right.
Now we do have replay.
All right.
And we'll take a look at it.
Let's have a look.
I thought right away Brad Jensen got it right.
Yeah,
and I agree.
Yeah, there's not enough in there, is there, to sort of give a penalty against Jelani Peters. And again, for me, a penalty is when you bring someone down, not when you just bump into them. You've got to actually be the architect of bringing them down.
De Silva. Back for England. Antonelli. Craig. Another nice spell of possession for Miami. Can they make it count? Gilwine flies in before Francois can get to it.
Cicerone providing the pressure there. Not happy with the decision. you can tell by just the look on the face. But that's the pressure they're putting on. And Cicerone, for me, it's that they missed him against Austin Bold. And when he came on, they were already sort of struggling to break Austin Bold down, so he didn't really have the impact. Now starting him, got so much the pace of Alex Dixon down the left, the guile of Cicerone, the target man Dickwit. It's a lovely combination up front, the three of them.
Ballard's been busy on the right side. Greg didn't really hit that one as well as he liked. Palacios had to scramble. Back with Ballard.
Plenty of ball for Miami FC, but they're not being allowed to get into that final third very easily. They're relying on these long balls.
And the flag goes up on Francois. You and I have done too many games together, Gary, because as you were getting set to say that, I was double checking my possession stat. And I was about to say it's 57% for Miami, but it doesn't feel like that because so much of it has just been around the back line.
Yeah, what they're doing, Pittsburgh, is just dropping deep. As soon as the high press doesn't work, they drop deep and defend behind the ball, and they're very good at that. The problem with their last two home matches is once they were behind, they kept doing it, and clearly you've got to start attacking once you fall behind.
Sun retreating behind the bridge. Shadows creeping further into the field. Great to see the crowd out in action again at Highmark Stadium. That foul goes against Griffin. De Silva still showing the ill effects of it. Slow to his feet, but gets back to his feet now.
Painful when that happens. Stood on all the weight of the opponent's body right onto your toes. That's always going to hurt. It's also, you know, one has to bear in mind for both these teams, there's so many changes, as happens often in the USL. I mean, Miami's backline, you know, Ballard first season at the club, Paco Craig first season, Luca Antonelli first season.
Second game, forget first season.
Second, yeah, true, true. Connor Sparrow's, you know, first season with the club.
Francois pressures on the run, plays it out wide. As quickly as that attack seemed like it was coming together. Passing around the back line again for Miami with Craig. Over the top for Ballard. Flag stays down. In front, Palacios. Excuse me, Francois. Francois all the way across into the midst of Vidiello.
Good save by the keeper. Goes a knock on the head there in the process for Mikael Williams. It's the first time we've seen Miami really get into the box and do something here. It's a good turn. It's a decent cross from Francois, not pulled enough back. And I think goalkeeper and centre-back collide in the process. But if you're a Miami FC fan, you're thinking, at last, we've got something happening in the box. You know, something that's putting Pittsburgh under a little bit of pressure.
And to that point, still no shots officially for Miami. Mikael Williams got hit by his own goalkeeper, Vitiello, in that exchange. Has to come off for a moment. But he's ready to go back on as soon as they allow him to do so. Reminding the ref that he's over there. And he's already back out there.
Vitiello did well there to come and get that ball. He's had a decent season so far. A couple of little moments against Austin Bowl, but then recovered to make really good saves. Same against Charlotte. Looks to be a top-class keeper, Vitiello.
Francois stumbles. De Silva keeps it alive, gets it. Flag stays down. De Silva, end line, blocked out for a corner. And no, last touch actually off of De Silva in the exchange. Again, another foray forward for Miami, and again, yet to record a shot.
Yeah, but at least they're in that box and causing problems, and they haven't done that until the last couple of minutes. Have a look at this again. Francois trying to get something going and plays the ball through to De Silva. No, does it come off? Yeah, it comes back off De Silva in the process. But if that ball gets through, if it gets past the defender, it can cause all sorts of problems. So I'm sure in the last minute or two, Paul Dalglish has felt a lot more comfortable that his team are actually capable of creating real chances.
And Paul Dalglish will have a chance now to shuffle some things and tweak some things in a chat with his squad as the teams go for their hydration break.
Cicerone, such a good player, 4th goal of the season. And again, I'd like to see who was marking him. Good win in midfield here, absolutely brilliant. Gets one, and then the ball gets played vertically. Alex Dixon with pace gets in the box. Now let's have a look. There's 2 versus 2 in the box. There's a near post run. It's the left back who hasn't stayed with Cicerone. And that's what you've got to do in the box. You cannot allow players. In fact, it is Yanis Lobe, 19. Yanis Lobe, who there was two defenders, 2 attackers. Once Luca Antonelli goes near post to pick up Dikwa, you have got to, if you're Yanis Lobe, you've got to follow and pick up Cicerone, which he didn't do, and he got punished for it.
And again, those are things, language barrier aside, if that even is a thing, whether Antonelli not speaking English, other players not speaking Italian, that all aside, just the sheer fact that it is his 2nd appearance for Miami, he marks that zone. Lube also goes to mark that zone, not quite in his typical position, and those are the results.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's 2-on-2, and there's something that you work on in practice, 2 against 2. It's your sort of classic training situation, and you've got to stay touch tight. If you're in the box, you stay absolutely touch tight, because even if Cicerone gets the ball before you do, you don't want him to be able to relax and pick his spot. You want him to be struggling and, you know, feeling you on the shoulder and you're pushing him off balance slightly, all those good things. Instead, Cicerone had time to turn his body and pick his spot. And when you're a good player like he is, give him time. He's going to find the corner of the net and put it past Connor Sparrow, which is exactly what he did.
4th goal of the season. Dalglish and the Miami side looking to get it back.
By the way, great to see the fans in the stadium. You can hear the singing in the background, and really missed them over the last year and a bit. And look at it, still singing, still dancing. Yeah, brilliant, wonderful. Game after game.
Staying hydrated, everything.
Staying very well hydrated. Great support in so many USL clubs. Wonderful support for their home games.
Out of the hydration break, a quick challenge leaves Martinez on the ground.
I'm just wondering what the coaches would have said to the players. I mean, you would think with Bob Lilly, it's keep attacking quickly, keep getting Alex Dixon on the ball, and his pace is causing Miami FC a whole ton of problems. I think they're explaining that the ball was high and looking into the sun and didn't know quite what was going on. I think for Miami, the alternative is true. You've got to shut Alex Dixon down. You've got to stop him from running at you and causing chaos.
And you mentioned the sun. I'm just going to bring that up next. You see it starting to creep all the way up the field. In a half where Vitiello has had to battle the sun as the goalkeeper for Pittsburgh, Miami hasn't gotten a shot on him yet. And that's something that you thought they'd maybe try to take to their advantage with that sun shining in the Pittsburgh goalkeeper's face.
Yeah, crosses into the box are always difficult when they come as a high ball and it's coming out of the sun. The bottom line is Miami, until literally the last 3 minutes before the hydration break, had done nothing to give Pittsburgh any concern. Then all of a sudden, 2 little half chances, and Miami fans are going, hey, hey, we're coming to life.
That, a poor giveaway at the back. Fortuitous bounce for Pittsburgh. Long run for Dixon. He'll get there. Send it in. And now the late flag goes up. It was just over the line for a goal kick.
Struggling to find where to take whether it's a goal kick or a free kick. I think they've got it now. See, Pittsburgh are not doing the high press. They're saying to Miami, you want the ball there, it's fine. Going to drift across.
Pittsburgh, not a team that has really cared or not whether they dominate possession in the first few matches. Bob Lilly, he's mentioned it to us a couple of times throughout the season. It's about doing good things with the ball, not how much you have it.
100% agreed. Actually, I don't even care for possession stats. It doesn't make any difference. I look for shots on target, but even that can be misleading. You can have 1 great shot from 2 yards or 5 terrible shots from 40 yards. I look at XG, which is expected goals, which I think most pundits, most coaches believe in. It's very scientific. It's a very good measurement.
That one through Francois Vitiello all the way out. Confident goalkeeping.
Nice and quick from Vitiello, positive, brave as well, coming out of feet. But yeah, just to talk about XG, XG tells you how many goals should be scored and shouldn't. It gives managers a very good idea. Lovely ball through here. Wonderful. A little bit slow to react there for a moment, Francois. He sort of stopped and then went. If he'd have gone straight away, maybe he would have got there.
Cicerone tried to dump it through to Dequan, wanted the foul. And it's just out for a goal kick. Action picking up now out of the hydration break end to end.
And again, Pittsburgh a lot more positive than we saw them in the previous home matches. And that's, you know, when you get Cicerone, Alex Dixon, Dequan as your front 3, I think you can be reasonably confident they're going to put defenses under all sorts of pressure, which they have done. And in fact, nearly causing Connor Sparrow a few embarrassing situations there. That's the high press you want. Let the defense, let the keeper know that you're buzzing, you're around them. One mistake, and you're going to pounce on it.
Both of these teams coming off losses, wanting to right the ship. So far, so good for Pittsburgh. Joe Malfa here alongside Gary Bailey with you on ESPN Plus. Thanks for joining us this evening. Sun setting in the Steel City.
And if Pittsburgh do go on to win this, they will go above Miami into a playoff place. They will take Miami out of a playoff place. Psychologically, that's a big blow. It's exciting for Pittsburgh. It's a blow for Miami if that stays the same. Long way to go yet.
And it's early, 20-something depending on which team it is. Not the schedule hasn't quite been balanced yet. So 20-something games depending on which team you are to decide this thing. But still, as you mentioned, psychologically, you start getting into the summer months, July, August, the games start coming quickly. You want to see your name above your opponent's name in the standings. Forbes looking to spring Dequan on the run. Battle against Craig. Challenge put in. Took a deflection last off Dequan, I believe.
Oh, I thought Dequan got past him there. He had the pace, and it looked like just got a long toe out there, Bucko Craig, to make that tackle. But again, Dixon given all the space. It's perfect. Forbes with the long ball. Great ball in from Forbes as per normal. And he's got all this space to run into Alex Dixon with his pace. That's perfect for him.
Pittsburgh does come away with the throw. No deflection in the end from Dequan. Receives the throw. Cicerone keeps it alive. Dover. Inside Dixon. Incisive run from Dixon. Out for Cicerone. Dover. And they get something on target. Dover still with it. Back again for Cicerone. And now taken away. Palacios pokes it away as he tracks back from the midfield.
That was frustrating for Dick, where he was in the center of the box, hands up, saying, just get the ball in, I'm here.
Maybe this time. Dover. This time all the way across towards Dequa, but it's cleared before it gets there.
Good defending from Miami, and again, positive play from Pittsburgh. Is this the same team? Are you sure this is Pittsburgh? Because a week ago against Austin Bold, they'd done nothing. 39 minutes into the game, I don't even think they had a shot on target. They had nothing to show for it. This match, wow, what a much better performance, and positive, and all the things to make the Hounds fans excited and pleased for the future.
Their first home match, they went down a goal in the 34th minute, lost 1-0. Second home match, went down a goal in the opening minute, lost 1-0. This time they get the first goal, looking to add more. Down the wing, Dixon has to go out to the corner to retrieve it. Forbes calling for it all the way across. A shot comes in, Cicerone heads it, and it ends up in the hands of Sparrow.
That was two Miami players who nearly scored own goals. The first one, I think, comes off Antonelli at the near post, and Sparrow has to react. Let's have a look at Antonelli there. Ball coming in from Dixon. And that hits the goalkeeper, and then here, okay, that gets headed back nice and easily there by Jay-Sean Anglin. The first one, I'm not so sure that it was meant. Nonetheless, the keeper saves it. Once again, Pittsburgh on the front foot.
Lube up forward. Heavy challenge, but a clean one from Williams. Player still down. Lube was making the run up from his left back position. Clean, heavy challenge from Williams, shoulder to shoulder.
It's good to see Williams go back and just check on Lube, make sure that he's okay. Maybe have a look at it again and make sure it wasn't a clean tackle. If that's a clean tackle and it happens that you get hurt, well, that's just one of those things. He does win the ball.
It's a big man, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, it's just a coming together of bodies, and sometimes, you know, you can just hit somebody awkwardly and it can hurt a lot more than it normally does. Nothing from Williams there, nothing nasty, and good to see Lobe up on his feet. Mind you, given the size of Williams, I'm not sure many players are going to come off a tackle from him and feel okay.
Listed 6'1", 188 pounds. The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community. Through the Forever Proud project, the USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud.
Connor Sparrow doing really well there to go up and win that header. Well done, the goalkeeper.
Sparrow's been tested today. Potent attack from Pittsburgh early on. It's settled in a bit as the half has gone along. Miami has seen the ball. Pittsburgh has sat back a little bit more. But those dangerous attacks from the wings led by Dixon have been there throughout the evening for Pittsburgh. Can they capitalize and get a second before the half? Just a couple minutes remaining.
Yeah, Dixon's been wonderful this first half. Forbes has been pulling the strings on the edge of the box. Cicerone's been a threat in the box. It really has been a super performance. But you're right, if you just got the one goal to show for this level of dominance, you'd probably want a second to feel you got your money's worth out of all the attacks. Conversely, Miami, they've got to improve. This is, other than a little spell of, I think, 2 or 3 minutes where they were in the box and threatening a little bit, there's been nothing from this sort of talented Miami FC team. I'm going to have to take it up another level in that second half.
Dixon draws a foul. The Riverhounds have added premium suites for 2021, exclusive and private suites with premium menu options. Check out the balcony that overlooks all the action, a majestic view of Pittsburgh skyline. You can visit riverhounds.com or call the box office at 412-865-GOAL.
I don't know if we mentioned, but this is Bob Lilly's 100th game in charge of the Riverhounds. Only one coach ever to do that was Justin Evans from 2010 to 2014. And it's been a very successful run under Bob Lilly.
That it has had the success with the Rochester Rhinos as well, carrying his coaching prowess to Pittsburgh, and some players with him as well. Dixon, Forbes are guys who he had in Rochester. On the other side, Francois looking to get involved in that attack. Played for him in Rochester and then Pittsburgh as well.
And in those 99 matches under Bob Lilly, the Hounds have allowed just 85 goals. It's less than a goal a game. Game very impressive. You know, it's one thing judging a coach on a half a season, but over 99 games, less than a goal a game. And here again, keeping a clean sheet so far, very tight at the back.
The other milestone out there tonight for Pittsburgh is Jordan Dover making his 100th appearance in USL play.
And he joins three others: Conrado Forbes, Alex Dixon, and Todd Wharton.
And those two of those guys you mentioned all helped link up on that first goal. It was Dover who won the ball, played it to Forbes, played it over to Dixon, and then inside for the goal to Cicerone.
100%. That's what all that experience gives you, doesn't it?
Now we'll see if that experience can help defend a free kick. 5 minutes of stoppage time given, and a chance for Miami, seemingly against the run of play, and maybe pull one back. Free kick in a dangerous spot to whip it across. The sun streaming into the face of Danny Vitiello. He'll have to battle the blue jerseys coming at him and the big yellow ball that's above him and setting beyond the far end.
Just thinking of Luca Antonelli, the big center back, the Italian international. If you want to get welcomed to Miami FC, scoring a goal now will get you a big hug from coach and fellow players.
De Silva to deliver. Floats it in, center of the box. It's headed away initially. Second ball's kept alive for the moment by Miami, but now it's Griffin who comes away with it and able to alleviate the pressure.
Good defending by Pittsburgh, winning that ball, clearing their lines, not giving Miami a real sniff at a chance. I think you're going to put this first half down to the home side as comfortably the best team. Big question is what is Paul Dalglish going to do second half to turn it around? What can he do? Who can he bring off the bench? What are his options? He's got Forbes on the bench. That would be one player you want to bring on sooner than later, Billy Forbes. He can cause problems. Sean McFarlane can get up and down on the sidelines. Lamar Walker, they've talked about him, the 20-year-old, is a really good talent from Jamaica. Those are all options for Paul Dalglish.
And again, players who may be on the bench, perhaps because of the grueling schedule they've had with World Cup qualifiers, international friendlies, just traveling back. We weren't sure they were going to be in the 18 coming into the night, but they are, and they're available. Antonelli clears this one. De Silva. Francois making the run in the middle. Martinez feeds it that way. Francois against Vitiello. Francois still with it. Towards goal and in! Near the end of the half. Undoing all the wrongs that came before it. It's Francois.
That's a good finish from a very tight angle with goalkeeper to beat and defender on the line. That's great from Francois. Can't say they deserved it, to be 100% honest, but this game isn't about deserving. It's about taking your chances here. And this is a lovely ball going to be played through. Sets him away. Goalkeeper comes, he goes round the keeper. I think it's Kilwine there who tries to clear it. The ball sort of hops up on him and makes it difficult for Kilwine to clear it off the line there. Goalkeeper, I thought for a second Vitiello might bring him down here. We know what he plays it off the post.
I couldn't tell that angle either, but he played it off the post. Oh my goodness, I've never seen that before.
And that's being a left footer. He, instead of using his right foot to hook it away, used his left foot, and that was risky, and he just couldn't get it past the post, Kilwine. And so that halftime talk I was telling you about it all being Pittsburgh, well, it's not. It's 1-1. It doesn't mean to say Miami should relax, because they were the inferior side, in my opinion. But what a good time to get a goal.
Never a bad time to get a goal, but especially near the end of the half. Gary, I don't mean to age you, but you have years on me. I've never seen something like that happen before. Have you? Cleared off the post like that.
Yeah, but it shouldn't happen, because Kilwine should ideally use his right foot. But when you're that much of a lefty, you're more comfortable with your left foot. And he hooked it sort of towards the goal and just didn't quite get the angle right, off the post and in. Frustrating for him, no doubt, and his teammates. But hey, let's give Francois credit from a tight angle. There's a little bit of a push there. Not much of a push, but ends up with a yellow card for Mikael Williams.
And now, after conceding the first to draw level, Pittsburgh has to defend another free kick in the final minute of stoppage time. De Silva floats it over the top. Antonelli looks to save it, but it's just over the line for a goal kick.
It's one of the few times I've seen Antonelli in the attack. And I think the idea was right. Go to the far post, knock it back. But as you say, just went over the line. But this has changed the whole feel about it, hasn't it? The crowd have gone quiet, unfortunately, for the Riverhounds. But Bob Liddy will be furious. You dominate the first half, you create some really good opportunities, and you get caught in a quick counter-attack, and it's 1-1.
Don't imagine that Dalglish will be very happy at halftime either with the performance they've shown, but at least you do get the goal to ease some of the blow.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be a lot more comfortable now, Paul Dalglish, but he'll still be concerned that his team were outplayed for large periods of that. And he'll be looking to his bench to say, how do we freshen it up? But well done to both the goal scorers. A good finish from Cicerone, and from a very tight angle, Cristiano Francois making it level against his old team. Always nice when you score against your old side. Just a little reminder that it shouldn't have let you go.
Pittsburgh gets the early goal. Miami gets the late goal. Cicerone in the 9th from Alex Dixon. Francois 45+3 from Martinez. Pittsburgh got the start they wanted after struggling to start at home in their first couple matches, but they enter halftime where they started, level. It's 1-1. Back in a few moments here on ESPN+.
Danny Griffin, 2-0.
The action is at Highmark Stadium in June.
Miss, and Vitiello comes up to save the first and then grabs the second.
The Hounds close their June home schedule against the New York Red Bull 2 on Friday, June 25th with a 7 p.m. kickoff. Individual seats on sale now. Visit Riverhounds.com or call 412-865-GOAL. Pleasant Valley Golf Club, nestled in the Laurel Highlands of southwestern Pennsylvania, is now open to the public. Enjoy 18 holes of championship golf with a new island green and fully stocked pro shop. Our clubhouse features a large ballroom for weddings or private parties, 2 restaurants serving delicious food, a sports bar, 2 state-of-the-art golf simulators, and an outdoor patio with gas fire pit and picturesque view. Pleasant Valley Golf Club, now open to the public. Need to get your soccer fix? Then get ready, because the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Soccer Club is back in action at Highmark Stadium for the start of the 2021 season. Season ticket packages for all seats are now on sale at Riverhounds.com, and prices start as low as $255 each. Visit Riverhounds.com or talk to a ticket representative at 412-865-GOAL.
1-1 at the half in Pittsburgh. And hey, maybe the goals that we've seen in this first half will end up on another edition of The Dish from Devin Kerr. But first, this edition of Devin Kerr's The Dish.
Week 8 of The Dish is upon us. You know what that means. Craziness, insanity, confusion, and this is what happens when you give the ball to Zico Lewis. Apologies necessary. Downright rude on the back post. Charleston Battery failing to get the victory. No, that's not the case. That's Burke failing on the back post. 73rd minute assist from Zico Lewis. Charleston Battery get their first win of the season. Only team in the modern era of the USL Championship to hit the playoffs every single year. A little bit early for that. Let's fast forward and talk to the end of this season, but right now we're going to go to Atlanta United 2, Sporting Kansas City 2. 2v2. This is 1v1. This is Enoch Mushagalusa. Another apology, please. Top corner. This kid's something special. And what you are going to see, by the way, is 4 goals in the span of 13 minutes, but we're going to go back and forth because I got this bad guy in town, and that is whoa. Bradley Canham Faywell, also shortening his name like Prince. He just goes by Bradley Canham. Doesn't matter. Back in the net. We're at 1-1. But as I mentioned, Mushagalusa is a bad boy. Western Conference wonder Amadou Dia, signed by Sporting Kansas City, gets an opportunity to play for the 2 team. That's what he's all about. Peter Vermeer wants his team to help out. Amadou Dia, good ball into the backside. Mushagalusa goes to work again. So now it's 2v1. These teams have been pretty impressive recently. So what are we going to do? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Foomf. Back of the net. Well, Foomf will be 5. This is 4. Coleman Gannon pushed them into the second spot in the Central. Atlanta United 2 doing wondrous things. Sporting Kansas City 2 results in 4 out of the last 5. 3 draws. That equals 1 win. Math doesn't add up for me. We all know I can't add. And this is one of the teams that I want you to keep your eye on because nobody talks about El Paso Locomotive, nor do they do it on a regular basis. Expansion year, sophomore slump, no. They go back-to-back Western Conference, finalists, don't get the championship, but an opportunity once again to go East versus West, and the West is just the way it's won right now. 9-hole, right? Little kiss off the corner. Got to call your shot, don't you? Maka King, little touch to Luna. The West, past week, 3 wins against the Eastern Conference. Highlights, stats, no dessert. After dinner, drinks for sure. We'll see you around the corner. Week 8 of the dish. Peace.
Thank you for Devin doing that for us. We'll be back in a couple of moments here on ESPN Plus. 1 for Pittsburgh, 1 for Miami. It's been a tight one so far. Plenty more to come.
Yellow's there again. Second header. Here's a chance for Cicerone. Russell Cicerone, the leading goal scorer.
Just in time for the start of the 2021 season, we're offering Riverhounds mini flex plans. Flex plans are 6 vouchers to use any way you want over the 2021 season to catch the Hounds in action. Use them all for 1 game or spread them out through the season. With 3 different plans starting at $90, you can choose anywhere in Highmark Stadium to cheer on the Hounds. Visit riverhounds.com or call 412-865-GOAL.
Before you weren't able to walk very far.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. I couldn't even get out of bed sometimes.
How are you walking now?
I'm walking 6 miles a day.
Awesome.
Getting control back is living proof. The AHN Neuroscience Institute.
Need to get your soccer fix? Then get ready, because the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Soccer Club is back in action at Highmark Stadium for the start of the 2021 season. Season ticket packages for all seats are now on sale at riverhounds.com, and prices start as low as $255 each. Visit riverhounds.com or talk to a ticket representative at 412-865-GOAL.
Still 1-1 here in Pittsburgh. Not quite time for half number 2 yet, but that's coming. Joe Malfa here alongside Gary Bailey. We'll take a look now at news and notes from around USL. And we start with the addition of a new league. USLW League begins in 2022. That's coming up, and Santimo, our player of the month here in USL Championship, and the slate on ESPN continues with these Riverhounds traveling to Indy 11 on June 15th on ESPN Deportes. The team of the week in USL Championship. Anybody stand out to you personally, Gary?
Well, I guess the Elvis Samo with his hat trick against Miami. We've been talking about that. Danny Barrera with 2 assists. He's been playing really well recently. Just congrats to them all for the sort of standard of play that we're seeing week in and week out. But Elvis Samo, it takes a lot to beat a hat trick, doesn't it? Fantastic.
Of course. And now players in these games vying to be on next week's Team of the Week. You see that game, Indy and Pittsburgh, coming up. Big slate here early on in the season. Miami then also playing Birmingham.
As we say, all these 3-pointers are important for the Riverhounds, for Miami. Las Vegas seem to be picking themselves up game by game. San Diego looking much better, struggling to get the 3 points, but they've loaded their side with a few more players. San Antonio still got a strong side, and New Mexico started well, just lost a little bit of pace, but yes, so many good teams to enjoy.
Scoreboard, the big one, Charleston Battery, New York Red Bulls 2 in a delay. That one yet to get going or wrap up. Tampa Bay got back on track after a loss with a win against Loudoun.
I think that's 5 games at home, 5 wins, but Loudoun made them work for it. Very impressed with this young Loudoun side.
Loudoun made Pittsburgh work for it a couple of weeks back as well. A 3-2 win for the Riverhounds. That was their 2nd win in a row. They started well here looking for another win, Pittsburgh, but it ends up tied at the half, 1-1. Back with half number 2 in just a couple of moments.
Playing Mining for Millions from the PA Lottery can make you feel like you're on cloud 9. And now's your chance to ride that feeling all the way to top prizes of $1 million.
Hey, any luck today?
Still up in the air.
Keep on scratching.
Griffin, Danny Griffin, 2-0.
The action is at Highmark Stadium in June.
Miss, and Vizziello comes up to save the first and then grabs the second.
The Hounds close their June home schedule against the New York Red Bull 2 on Friday, June 25th with a 7 p.m. kickoff. Individual seats on sale now. Visit riverhounds.com or call 412-865-GOAL.
Before, you weren't able to walk very far.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. I couldn't even get out of bed sometimes.
How are you walking now?
I'm walking 6 miles a day.
Awesome.
Getting control back is living proof. The AHN Neuroscience Institute.
Summer is almost here, and so are the Riverhounds Academy Summer Technical Clinics. We have 3 sessions which are geared to players interested in developing technical skills in multiple areas over the course of the week. Clinics are led by Riverhounds Development Academy trainers and current professional Riverhounds players. Clinics start July 5th. Open to players 7 to 14 years old. Register online or contact the Academy office at 412-325-7238.
Sun setting in Pittsburgh. Not quite there yet, but the sun about to rise on half number 2. Joe Malfa here alongside Gary Bailey. 1-1 at the half between Pittsburgh and Miami, and here's how we got there.
Yeah, it's a great start by Pittsburgh. They look sharp from the very, very beginning. The ball won in midfield. Dover gets the ball, and then they get it out to Alex Dixon, and his pace is absolutely electric. Dick was making a run for the near post, Cicerone far post, and Dixon knocks it to Cicerone, who's been let free. The defenders were not touch tight. Giannis Lobe in particular, we've picked out as maybe the biggest culprit, but it's Dixon's pace, who early on caused so many problems. Good finish from Cicerone.
And Dixon, as you mentioned, so many problems that he caused. A couple more looks at some of the chances he created, so many down that wing.
Yeah, turns Richard Ballard there and then goes down the line, knocks it across. There's a turn in the box from Dikwa, just looking for anybody in the end. Dover has a bit of a dip, but that was a threat that Alex Dixon showed throughout the first half. very much so early on in the first half. He had Miami FC scrambling.
Continued to just bust up and down that left wing. He switched over to the right wing, I noticed, later on in the first half. But while he was on the left, this one called back for offside, you see right there. But again, another chance created.
Yeah, I'm looking at Forbes and saying he needs to knock that a little bit earlier, because he delayed, and it actually created the offside situation for Alex Dixon.
The chances continued for Pittsburgh as the half went on. Now, as I mentioned before, Dixon went to the right side, and who else? But again, Dixon creating the chance.
Yeah, it looked like it was nearly an own goal coming off Antonelli there, and Connor Sparrow doing really well to make the initial save, then gets headed back to him by Aglin.
And then in the end, against a run of play, Miami able to get it back. Francois, and then Kilwine unable to clear it.
Yeah, Francois does so well, gets around Vitiello. I thought the keeper might bring him down there, keeps his balance. And as it comes across, Kilwine chooses to use his left foot to try and clear it when maybe the right foot would have been the better option. It shows one shot on target each, but Pittsburgh, by far the more dangerous side, could and maybe should have been an extra goal up. But as it stands, you know, Miami will take it and say, hey, we haven't played well. We're 1-1. Why can't we take it up another level second half?
Miami, you mentioned a couple of times, maybe didn't deserve to be where they are, but that's how it goes. And we saw it today in the European Championship, Finland and Denmark, first and foremost, bringing up that game. All thoughts and prayers with Christian Eriksen. But in that match, 22 shots in that match for Denmark, no goals. One shot for Finland, one goal. It's a cruel, cruel game. Now, the shot disparity not quite up to that level in this match, but Miami only needed the one, and here we are, level to begin half number 2. Waiting for the whistle from Brad Jensen. Miami in the blue will get things going.
And I'm sure Paul Dalglish has reminded them they were in a great position in the last match against RGV. They were 2-0 up and then 2-1 up. Ended up losing at 4-2. So he'll be saying, don't you be throwing away anything. I want you to go on and at least get 1 point, if not all 3. That would be their Miami FC story. I think from Bob Lilly, a draw is not enough for him. He's at home. He's had 2 very poor home results. He desperately wants a win at home.
And historically under Lilly, they've been so good at home. This year they start with 2 losses in 2 home matches. Maybe an even higher level of urgency and desperation to try and come away with the 3 points tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, the last time they lost the first 3 opening home games was back in 2016. So it's a rarity for the Riverhounds to be faced with this situation, and they won't want to make it 3 losses at home in a row.
Griffin. Dixon back on the left side. We saw him end the first half on the right side. Back now on the left where he helped create the opening goal for Pittsburgh on the assist to Cicerone. The sun not entirely out of the equation just quite yet. Still in the eyes now of Connor Sparrow, who has to deal with it.
I think from a Pittsburgh point of view, besides this match, they've then got Indy and Tampa on the road. Well, we know what Tampa Bay Rowdies is all about on their home ground. That's a massive match for them. So if they don't get a result here, then the next thing, Indy maybe only pick up 1 point or something, then it's Tampa. Then your season starts to look like it could be in trouble. So again, this match, and I'm sure Miami would say the same thing, they've got tough games coming up in this very, very difficult group. So again, this is the points here on offer today, crucial to both sides.
Dequa across, feeding it to Forbes. Dover making the run. Forbes taking the shot. It's blocked. In chatting with Bob Lilly, he mentioned at this stage of the season, you're not desperate yet, but you do need that heightened sense of urgency because of those matches coming up. Very tough stretch coming. But he's looking forward to it. It's a challenge, but he mentioned he's looking forward to it because it's going to teach him a lot about his own team, good or bad, moving beyond it.
Yeah. He will find out whether he's got the right players to take on the pressure. And it's a tough one because there's a lot of new players that he's learning about, understanding how they perform. what they can do. They lost a lot of players at the end of last season, a lot of very, very good players, hard to replace.
Got a couple of good ones back in, though. Dixon among them. Helps bring the attack that led to the goal.
Cicerone, also a new signing, good player. They lost Van Keerseel at the back, who was a crucial defender for them.
Shove in the back from Antonelli. Take a look at that upcoming schedule in its entirety for Pittsburgh. At Indy, at Tampa, and one at home before going back on the road to a Loudoun team that gave them all they could handle.
Yeah, then Charlotte Independence away. I mean, it's very easy for things to go pear-shaped quickly in this league because there's so many good teams that you can go sort of 3 or 4 games and a draw. The 1 point for a draw, it might sound like a good result, but if you lose a couple of games with it, you end up with very few points. And there's going to be a good team in this group who does not make the playoffs. I don't know what that team is, but there's going to be, and it might be more than one, when you consider you've got to get 4 from the likes of Tampa, Charlotte, Charleston Battery, Miami, Pittsburgh, Hartford are playing well. I mean, New York Red Bulls too. Only 4 of those can go through, and we know one of them is almost certainly Tampa. So you're playing for one of 3 places.
I was just going to say, you're playing for 3 places because it's not going to be long before we start doing the math on when exactly Tampa can clinch a spot the way they've started this season.
It's phenomenal. It really is brilliant. But you know, trophies aren't won this time of the year. And we've seen year after year out in the West how good Phoenix Rising have been. And they've been so close so often. But you've just got to improve and improve. And I think that's what Bob Lilly knows as well when we spoke to him during the week. He knows that he has to just get into the top 4. It's the problem in this group, as we've said, just getting in the top 4 itself is a battle.
In a match like this, potentially a 6-point swing. Official attendance at Highmark, 3,115. Touched on it in the first half, Gary. Great to see and hear the fans back out there at the park.
It makes the game. Doesn't matter what fans might say. They might say we're not that crucial. Yes, you are crucial. Get on down to the game. The players thrive on it. Everybody gets a buzz out of it. The singing, the chanting, even the moans and groans occasionally. It's all part of the theater of football. And when they've been missing in this last year or so, wow, it has really shown what a vital part they are to the success of soccer.
Personally, I think during a large stretch of the time without fans, we were almost trying to just reason ourselves into it. Like, oh, you know what? It's not that bad. But then once fans came back, we realized, yeah, we missed this a lot.
Absolutely. And there's just some great fans in the USL. You know, people might not know that, but when I say great fans, committed. They're up there singing and dancing for 90 minutes and playing the drums and all sorts. And it's not 5 minutes worth. It's a full-on 90 minutes.
Miami trying to silence that crowd, but not on the same page. Francois and De Silva.
That's better from Miami. We didn't see much in the first half of them on the fringes trying to get players into the box. Already they seem to have pushed up a little bit further.
Dixon to Forbes. Switch all the way over to Dover. Second time we've seen a switch like that. Second time the first touch from Dover has been pristine. Out again to Dixon. Didn't see much of this from Pittsburgh in the first half. Playing it around, especially at the back. And settling into a good stretch here with the ball at their feet. Dixon. Forbes. And all the way back now to Vitiello. Cicerone battling for it, finds it. Streaking to goal. Unable to find Dequat. Williams.
It's a bit of a battle in the midfield, isn't it? Their possession going from one side to the other as they're all trying to find that gap in the defense.
Cicerone. A goal to his name already. Out for Dover. Strong foot put in by Palacios. Ball won by Cicerone. Fed through to Dover and now back out for Wharton. Cicerone, can he get a cross in? Takes it in the middle. Flicked away, only as far as Griffin. Puts it back into the mixer. Chests it down despite the protest for handball from the men in blue jerseys. Kilwine, cleared by Antonelli. Down the wing, contact made, play on. Martinez in space, over to De Silva in the box. Peters there, back to Martinez for a blast.
Wow, Martinez wasn't far away from there. It was a great strike. They're still complaining on the Pittsburgh sidelines that there was a foul with Martinez's elbow in the face there of Todd Wharton. Not given. And then he goes directly at the defense. Look at that, causing problems, trying to create a situation for De Silva. Comes back and this pops up. I tell you what, that was very close to being goal of the season. That was not far away from the top corner.
We'll see if that non-call injects some chippiness and life into this one in terms of extracurriculars. It's been a clean match overall, but all it takes is one play like that. We saw how animated Bob Lilly was down on the sideline.
Again, very difficult for referee to see that in the moment. So much going on and very easy to miss an elbow in the face. And even if there was an elbow, we can be absolutely sure it wasn't meant. I mean, there's no nastiness in that from Ariel Martinez.
And tonight, just up to the 3 men out there. No fourth official tonight, just the 2 assistant referees. And Brad Jensen in the middle. No extra set of eyes on a play like that. We noticed it in the first half when the board was put up for stoppage time and it looked to be an assistant coach or something for Pittsburgh who held up the board with the signage, with the minutes, excuse me.
Well, if you're the fourth referee, you stand between the 2 coaches and you get an earful for 90 minutes. I'm not surprised they haven't turned up. I wouldn't want that job.
You're stuck here with me doing this job instead.
Much more fun.
I didn't pay you to say that. Just putting that on the record. 10 minutes gone here in the second half. Joe Malfa alongside Gary Bailey. All the way back for Sparrow. The clearance. A couple of subs being prepared by Miami. It's a man we've mentioned a couple of times tonight. Skipping down the sideline and getting warmed up, Billy Forbes.
It's a dangerous player, Billy Forbes, and very capable of coming on here and swinging the match Miami's way.
Robert Baggio, the first to come over to the sideline.
Number 7, Billy Forbes. Number 14, Robert Baggio.
Antonelli's night is over as well. Callum Chapman-Page checking in.
I guess Luca Antonelli still just finding his feet, maybe even finding his fitness. So can't expect too much from the Italian international just yet.
Callum Chapman-Page, not a bad option to bring in as well. Stout center back. Man with plenty of experience on the back line. De Silva muscles through. Has a run coming from Forbes. Sends it out that way. Forbes' first involvement is dispossessed. Over the top for Dixon. Flag might have gone up, but the ball went out for a throw anyway.
It's a very well-balanced match. Exciting if you're neutral. You're wondering which way is this going to go? Who wants it more? Who's going to find that little moment of magic to get a breakthrough?
Contact in the box. De Silva wanted a penalty.
It's difficult to get a penalty unless you're tripped, because referees don't have VAR. They can't go and see whether you got shoved or not. Unless it's very clear to the ref, it's unlikely they're going to give it. So you're as best just trying to play on and keep your balance.
Spoken like a true goalkeeper who doesn't want to face one of them. Flag will go up onto Silva. The SiriusXM Listen Free event on now. Catch 24/7 soccer, including USL All Access, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on SiriusXM FC channel 157, plus hundreds of channels filled with entertainment. Download the SiriusXM app to hear it all free. Go to SiriusXM.com to learn more.
Now, after Miami have made their subs, I'm just wondering what Bob Lilly's thinking for Pittsburgh. Does it have the likes of Anthony Velarde on the bench? Tommy Williamson, perhaps, but the front three he's got are really classy players, good players. I think the issue is that when he starts to see a bit of tiredness creeping in, then he might start to bring on fresh legs.
Griffin. Cicerone checking deep to provide some assistance, but it's out for Dover. Minute 60 at Highmark Stadium here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Goal scored by Pittsburgh in the 9th minute. Russell Cicerone, his 4th of the year from Alex Dixon. Then 45+3, a goal that is credited to Francois on the assist from Martinez. Flag pops up on Cicerone.
Fans having their say in the background with lots of boos, trying to put some pressure on the assistant ref. But that sharpness we saw early on, the Alex Dixon pace down the left, balls into the box for Dicko and Cicerone, that's sort of slowed down a bit. They just can't seem to get Dixon on the ball as much as they did in the first half. And again, that might come from Forbes. If Forbes is deep, he needs to get himself much further up.
Over the top for Dixon. In space. Chance to take the shot. It's stopped by Sparrow. Rebound still alive. Dicko muscling players off. Cicerone turning, losing it. Kept alive by Forbes for the strike that's blocked.
Good save from the goalkeeper, Connor Sparrow. There was a tight angle for Dixon. Lovely pass by Forbes, just saying he should be further up. Well, if he passes like that, he can virtually play anywhere. But again, I just think he's more of a danger when he's on the edge of the box, making short, quick passes that are so accurate. But beautiful pass there from Forbes to Dixon. Tight angle, keeper makes a good save.
Just headed out for a throw. Mikael Williams. Take a look back at that last opportunity for Dixon and the save by Sparrow.
But the ball from Forbes, absolutely brilliant. Dixon barely has to change his run. That's how good that pass was.
Chipped in towards Forbes, into the hands of Vitiello. The Riverhounds are back in action at Highmark Stadium Friday, June 25th at 7 p.m. The New York Red Bulls 2 come to town. You can visit riverhounds.com or call the box office at 412-865-GOAL. Individual tickets are on sale now. Dover. Looks like Lilly is preparing a couple of changes over on the bench. See which buttons he presses to help get Pittsburgh back on top. Shane Wheat and Jalen Robinson, who he has up on the sideline, 2 defenders by trade. The last Miami attack didn't want us to take a look at that full replay, but now we will see the save by Sparrow on the shot from Dixon.
That's a good save. I mean, the goalkeeper's cut down the angle. Dixon's going wider and wider. You can see there it's a good solid save. Strong hands from the goalkeeper.
Mikael Williams checking out, like-for-like substitution. As Shane Wheat will slot into the middle of the back line.
Jordan Dover seems to be off as well.
And he exits for Robinson. So a pair of like-for-like substitutions on the back line for Pittsburgh.
Maybe just wants fresh legs in there, fresh focus to make sure there's no defensive errors.
They've got 5 substitutions at their disposal instead of the old 3, of course. Maybe use a couple for fresh legs, and now maybe the next set of substitutions from Bob Lilly to try to change up the game if he wants to go for it. Look for that goal, get the 3 points. Which, as you mentioned, Gary, might be the way he wants to go, especially with the first 2 results they've had at home with 2 losses. 1 point, it's fine, but so does Miami then get 1 as well. And that's who you're chasing in the standings. You want 3 on a night like tonight.
Absolutely you do. Especially all those tough away games rather coming up. On the road, they've got some very difficult ones, including Tampa Bay for Pittsburgh. So, wow, desperate for points today.
Lamar Walker now checking in for Miami. Ariel Martinez had the assist on the goal for Miami.
Miami substitution. Number 13, Lamar Walker. In for number 10, Ariel
Lamar Walker,
Martinez.
someone you mentioned you were excited to see, Gary, if he were to check in tonight.
Yeah, a lot of talk about the 20-year-old. Exciting talk as well. Very, very talented player, evidently. So let's have a good look at him.
Factoring in stoppage time, he'll have about a half an hour to leave his mark on this one. Looked on by Griffin. Battle. That's won by Dixon. Griffin inside to Dequa, end line. Shielded off well and grabbed by Sparrow.
Nice probing play by Pittsburgh. That's where you want to be, edge of the box, knocking little balls in there, trying to get through on a 1-on-1 against the keeper, and if they stop you and bring you down, it's a penalty.
Threaded through. Flag goes up on Forbes. 6th appearance of the season now for Lamar Walker. Martinez coming out from his false 9 role.
Billy Forbes is a good player. 30 years of age, well experienced. And he can cause Pittsburgh a few problems. If you're a Riverhounds fan, you're thinking, oh, it's 2 losses at home and now we're drawing against a good side. Are we going to go down 2-1 here? That would be a catastrophe for the Riverhounds.
Maybe go up 2-1 as it's flicked on by Dequa, but
that's positive thinking. I like it, Joe. If you're a Pittsburgh fan, absolutely, you can go 2-1 up.
Lube inside for Forbes. A couple of times that Forbes has been involved. The touches haven't seemed crisp from Billy Forbes, and a couple of runs that he went a little bit too early on. Hasn't found his footing just quite yet. Craig over the top. Silva chests it down. Wheat, his first involvement. Throws the foul against De Silva. Wheat out to Dixon. On a night like tonight, if you're looking to spark an attack for Pittsburgh, there's no better man you want with the ball at the feet than Alex Dixon. Dequa into Forbes. Too far out in front.
That was a good idea there from Dequa. He was in the box. If he gets that header right and Forbes gets on the end of it, that was a great chance there for Pittsburgh. You want to take these chances when they come along, because if you don't and Miami do, then if you're Pittsburgh, you're in trouble. Let's have a look here. It's a good flick on header. See, that header there is not the best of ones. It doesn't give Forbes any chance of getting on the end of it from Dequa.
Francois has the goal for Miami. Now he has a foul to his name, committing that one after he lost possession. Francois, the 27-year-old from Haiti, spent a year in Pittsburgh in 2018. Coming into this season, 92 appearances, 19 goals in his USL career. Scored his first of this season here tonight.
And that's basically all they've done, Miami. I mean, other than that goal, they haven't really tested Vitiello much. Martinez had one in the second half, early second half, that just flew over the crossbar. But and even the goal itself from Cristiano Francois from a tight angle, Kilwine hooking it into his own net off the post as he tries to clear it. It, you know, perhaps shouldn't have been a goal. So not much from Miami so far. That could all change.
Forbes.
Or not.
Change there. Yep.
Yeah, not with crosses like that, it won't.
I think Forbes is a good veteran player in this league, coming back from international duty. He's with Turks and Caicos in their final World Cup qualifying match. 30-year-old, been with 10 professional teams. Spent 2 years in San Antonio, 1 year in Phoenix, and last year in Austin. Another one of the big names that Miami has brought in this season. No Speedy Williams tonight. He is still on international duty.
And it's a point that Paul Dalglish made about the players. He said, when I brought the players in, I wanted to bring in successful players. Players knew what, know what winning's all about and know the need to win. And I think Billy Forbes is one of those players, as is Speedy Williams.
In for Dixon. End line. Already one assist into Cicerone, and it's wide. Those two made magic happen in the first half, nearly again.
Dixon with his pace on that left-hand side, but I'm not sure he gave Cicerone too much of a chance. He smashed that ball across the box, and Cicerone, I think, just threw a body onto it. Let's have a look. You know, it wasn't so much the pace of the ball, it was the height of it. It was in the stomach of Cicerone. If it's a little bit lower, Cicerone maybe can flick that into the back of the net.
Some high pressure here from Pittsburgh. Craig playing out of it. Lube. Walker turns. Palacios, risky for that part of the field to pull a trick like that, but it worked out. It's with Walker. Silva. Overlap coming from Lube. Instead, it's direct. Francois waiting for it to come down. In the corner, won by Miami.
Jelani Peters using his height just to head that clear of Francois. Nice little bit of interplay from Miami there. Lovely little touches in midfield, passing the ball. Quick movement with the feet, getting it into Francois and forcing Pittsburgh to give away the corner.
Silva ready to take it. Blue jerseys crashing towards the goal in the middle. It's picked out and headed wide. Deshaun Anglin got his head to it.
He did well to get on the end of this. Anglin, let's have a look and see if he was under a lot of pressure. Yeah, he was. I think it was Kilwine. Yeah, Kilwine, who was right on his shoulder. The two of them going for it at the same time, but could he have at least got it on target? That's probably what he's thinking to himself. I got there first. Need to at least make the goalkeeper work. Fans still singing. They're happy, even if it's a draw.
I don't know if they'll be as happy if it's a draw. I think they'll be a lot happier with 3 points on their way home tonight. At the convergence of the Three Rivers in Pittsburgh, looking for 3 points tonight. The Riverhounds in their third home match of the season. That ball belongs to the River now. After that clearance, it's a throw for Pittsburgh. Inching forward. Kilwine. Over a quarter hour to go plus stoppage time. Joe Malfa here with you alongside Gary Bailey. Thanks for joining us tonight on ESPN Plus. This Atlantic Division matchup. Two teams coming off of a loss in two totally different ways. Pittsburgh gave up a goal early, never got it back. Miami blew a 2-1 lead, losing 4-2. Dequan went down initially, looked like maybe just a cramp. Just called a teammate over to help him out. Training staff stays off the field and ready to get back to the action.
Yeah, often happens in summer. You lose a lot more fluids, a lot more salts in this sort of heat. Players feeling it early on in the season.
Quick touch for Dequan, and he looks to be all right. Robinson backtracks. Former DC United man watches that sail over his head, and he'll get it back into play. Here in this second half, we've seen the opposite of what we saw in the first half. 59% possession for Miami in the first half, 59% possession here for Pittsburgh in the second half. They've been on the ball a lot more, but Gary, like you said, that means nothing to you unless you get shots on goal and good shots on goal that get into the goal, which neither team has been able to do here in this second half so far.
Exactly. It's a little bit of a stalemate. And that, as you say, Miami defending well. Pittsburgh just don't seem to be able to get through. Again, Alex Dixon, got to keep trying to find him with his pace, but the deeper Miami sit, the less space there is for Dixon to run into, so he becomes less effective. So then you need the likes of Conrado Forbes to push forward and see what he can do on the edge of the box.
Two substitutions already from Pittsburgh, both defensive, bringing in a new center back and a new right back. Wheat and Robinson, both over here on this right side. Dixon, overlap coming, sends it in himself instead. Over everybody, goal kick. Riverhounds fans, mini flex plans are 6 undated vouchers to use any way you want over the 2021 season to catch the Hounds in action. Use them all for one game or spread them throughout the season. On sale now, and plans start at $90. Call the box office at 412-865-GOAL if you want to join that crowd out there and have some fun at Highmark Stadium.
If you're going to have fun, I agree. Go and stand in there, go and sing the songs and enjoy the energy. Talking of energy, Bob Lilly just trying to wind his players up, as is Paul Dalglish on the other side. It's a crucial 15 minutes for both these sides. They've got to get up that table. They've got to get points on the board. And with tough games coming up, you know, a win here, 3 points, and suddenly Riverhounds go above Miami FC, or Miami FC go into second spot. If they win, think of that. They'll be 12 points, 2 ahead of Hartford Athletic of a bunch of games in hand. But, you know, you'll feel good about sitting second. If they both draw, then Miami goes up a spot. Pittsburgh stays where they are.
And then Charleston behind them, always in the fold, games in hand, 5 points. Very tough division, as we've said. And like you also alluded to, you take a look at Tampa Bay up there. Really, you're fighting for 3 spots, the way it appears.
Yep, and Hartford have a bunch of games in hand. So, you know, they could be difficult to catch. I mean, of course, both coaches will know this, and that's why they're putting a lot of energy into these chats now with 15 minutes to go, because they know that a goal now and 3 points, and if you're Miami, suddenly you're second in the table. How does that look? Fantastic. If you're Pittsburgh, or win, you're top 4, you're in playoff position. Looks fantastic. If you're not, and then of course the pressure starts to build.
And again, we're maybe, depending on which team you are and how your schedule has fallen so far, you're maybe a quarter of the way through the season. Still a long way to go, especially compared to last year when it was a 16-game sprint. Now it's more of a marathon back to normal circumstances. But every point counts, and as the summer begins to roll on, the games will start blurring together and the points will start racking up. So every single match crucial, and to help get those 3 points potentially, some fresh legs out there offensively for Pittsburgh. Velarde in, Cicerone out. Morton also checking out in this match. Williamson entering. Tommy Williamson in. See what he can do. Velarde in. He scored a goal against Loudoun. So now 4 subs gone for Pittsburgh. Francois. Inside, off the right thigh of De Silva.
It is interesting that Cicerone came off, your top goal scorer with 4 goals. Maybe he's tired, maybe he's running. Oh, trouble there, nearly for Connor Sparrow. Well done. Yeah,
now trouble. Dixon has it cleared out.
Shouldn't be taking risks at the back. Yeah, Cicerone, your top goal scorer. I guess if he's gassed, that would be an obvious reason to bring him off, and can't think of any other reason.
Robinson, the cross, Dequois. And the foul goes against Velarde.
Talking about making your presence felt. Paco Craig's not happy about that at all. Didn't see a lot from Velarde. It wasn't like he brought up his studs, but nonetheless, obviously just caught Paco Craig as he was clearing the ball.
5th appearance this season for Tommy Williamson, now atop the formation. No goals yet, but has an assist. Dixon has again shifted over to the right side, with Velarde now on the left. Up to Williamson. Space closed down quickly by Anglin. Griffin now. Velarde to his left. That's the way it goes. Velarde sends it in, all the way across to Dixon. Alex Dixon, end line, gets it across. Shouts for a handball. Vigorous protest from Dequois. It is out for a corner.
Alex Dixon again causing problems, whips it across there. They are complaining about, I think, about the handball. Pittsburgh Riverhounds there saying it definitely hit a hand. Oh, very close there. Chapman Page possibly just pulls his arm away at the last second there, but it was close. Thank heavens there's no VAR if you're a Miami FC fan.
Now they have to defend the corner. Forbes. The in-swinger coming. Fans alive for it.
That's a good ball in. It's got pace, power. Doesn't give the defenders time to move in the end. Unfortunately for Pittsburgh, they couldn't get anybody to sort of head it back in. A good set piece nonetheless, and they still have control of the ball.
Robinson. Looks like he's gearing up for a long throw. He does launch it in there. Forbes feigns the shot, puts a cross in. Wheat all the way back for his goalkeeper, Vitiello. Vitiello hasn't been tested in this second half. Hasn't been tested much all game again. Just the one shot that yielded the goal.
And he would have felt that he'd pushed Francois wide, and that was enough.
Dixon again causing issues. Ball was barely over the line for a goal kick before the cross was put in.
Yeah, his pace of Alex Dixon, absolutely brilliant on that side. But that handball, let's have a look. Does he get his arm away in time, Chapman Page? I think he gets it out the way.
Clearly he hit it because it was called out for a corner kick. So he definitely got a touch to it. The question is intent.
Or does it come off his body? Does he get his arm out the way and it touches his midriff?
Correct, that's what I mean. It depends on what exactly was the hit in the end, because there was some sort of deflection. Ball rotation changed. A corner was there. The train coming through Pittsburgh. That shot fizzed wide.
It's from Lamar Walker, the one we're talking about, who exciting possibilities with him. But certainly, I mean, if you're Pittsburgh, you're going to claim a penalty.
Of course.
You're going to ask the question. Referee in the end just didn't see enough to give it. And it probably is the right decision. So even with the benefit of a replay, I still thought he got his arm out the way just in time.
And that's a double-edged sword of something like VAR. You and I have looked at the replay multiple times, and we still have no clue what we're talking about in terms of looking at it. And VAR, you know, some obvious ones, yes, changed. Some tougher ones, not changed. But we don't have that here, and it looked like Brad Jensen made the right call initially on the field. 7 and change to go before we get to stoppage time. Cicerone in the 9th. Francois, 45+3. Your goal scorers on the evening. Does this game have another Or will it be these two teams meeting for the first ever time, splitting a point each?
Which doesn't really help them. I mean, it does, obviously it does help them in the 1 point, but compared to 3, if teams around them start getting results, Charleston Battery in particular, once they start going, you saw how good they were last season, and they've kept most of their players. So you fancy them to have a good run. It gets to the point where they suddenly get 3 points. They'll jump above Miami and Pittsburgh if they're not careful. So yeah, very, very tight in this Eastern Atlantic Division.
Alube. Palacios. Ballard. Inching forward down the side, but taken away by Kilwine. Velarde walking the tightrope. Inside for Griffin. Space. Acres of it on this right side for Robinson. Closed down very quickly by De Silva, but he commits to foul in doing so.
Little couple of words there, getting a bit chippy with 6 minutes to go. As it will do. So much on the line here.
Wheat takes it quickly. No setting up top of the box. In quickly to Forbes. Dixon. Griffin stumbles over it. Regathers. Forbes pushing through. Dequa trying to turn.
Good pressure coming from the home side.
Forbes. Dequa. Velarde pressing in. Out to Dequa for a shot and a stop by Sparrow.
Good hands from the goalkeeper there. Brilliant, just kills that ball dead in his hands. The man who came from Chicago Fire.
One MLS appearance last August 29th. Plenty of USL experience before that. Real Monarchs, Nashville SC. Billy Forbes hasn't really left his mark on this game after subbing in.
This is just what the shot from Dick, where he's quite wide. At the time, it's some beautiful interplay, by the way. Gets it at the keeper. It wasn't much of an angle. I'm wondering, could he have passed it to anyone? Was there someone in the middle who's in a better position than him? In the end, he tries to bend it round Connor Sparrow and puts it straight at the goalkeeper, but still good hands to catch that.
Anglin lingering on the turf, now helped to his feet.
He's not walking too well, is he?
Adonijah Reed puts the jersey on now. You wonder if it might be right here for Anglin. And if it wasn't supposed to be for Anglin, might force Paul Daglish to change his mind now.
Yeah, you can see Anglin's not putting too much weight on that leg. I don't think he's likely to continue.
And that sub will take place right now. Adonijah Reed in for Deshaun Anglin.
You haven't got much time when you come on as a sub with 4 minutes to go, but if you want to be a hero.
Adonijah Reed making his 6th appearance. Only one of those was a start, so used to the substitute role. Over towards Dixon, contacting the box, and Sparrow picks it up. There were also shouts of an illegal back pass there, picking it up. A lot to unpack in that exchange in the box. But we go to this box with Forbes putting it all the way over Adonijah Reed.
Yeah, I didn't see a penalty there at all, but the pass back, I'd have to see it again. Referee now, the last few minutes it has got a little bit more chippier, hasn't it? So poor old Brad Jensen, the referee, has got his hands full here, trying to calm everybody down.
There were the shouts for the penalty and then the protest for the back pass.
Now, you see, it's not a back pass. He was actually trying to win the ball, and neither he nor Dixon can get on the end of it, and eventually the goalkeeper comes and gets it. Didn't see the penalty either, so all fine by me.
Agreed.
But it doesn't, it's no harm complaining if you're Bob Lilly. Put pressure on the referee. You got the crowd behind you as well. It's what you do. Again, I'm sure looking at the scoreline, Miami will be happy with this. Away from home, difficult place to come. Coming off the back of that 4-2 loss to RGV after they were 2-0 up would have been a blow. So getting this draw, if it is to be a draw, I think as the roadside, Miami will be very happy with that.
Forbes just launches it forward towards De Silva. Vitiello out for the header. Adonijah Reed looking to take it down. Can he take a shot at goal with Vitiello tracking back? It's put inside instead. Reed did not act quickly enough as Vitiello was retreating.
And he put a dangerous ball in the box. There's a couple of blue shirts there. Eventually gets cleared. For a second, you're thinking, Miami going to snatch this away from Pittsburgh.
They did in the first half. 3 minutes into stoppage time to equalize. Dixon inside, a lot of room for Robinson. Taken down from behind. And a yellow card coming out as well for Lamar Walker.
Miami players are complaining that there were tackles at the other end of the pitch that they didn't get. They complained too much, getting in the referee's face. He's given the free kick. That's it. Let's move on. Lamar Walker. He's got to concentrate now on defending Miami. And yes, there were a couple of decisions that didn't go their way, and that one, I think, is clearly a free kick, so I'm not quite sure what the argument is about.
From Forbes here, is it a shot? Is it a cross? It's maybe on the borderline of that territory.
Just find one or two of your big center halves and get them into that box with a header.
The all-time assist leader in USL. Stands over the free kick. He lofts it in towards the backside, and he'll now deliver it from a corner kick as he trots out there.
Yeah, no one could get their head on that. Pity from a Pittsburgh point of view. It's a lovely ball in, and they just needed somebody to time their run right.
We've seen 90 minutes already. We'll see 5 more. We had a stoppage time goal in the first half. Will there be one to win it in the second half? Forbes curls it in, flicked on, but wide. Kilwine got ahead to it.
That was his chance to make up for the first goal. Kilwine does so well to get his header in here. Times it perfectly, just doesn't quite get the angle right to beat Connor Sparrow. But he loses his marker, gets up, does everything right except find the target. He didn't even give himself a crack on the head. But annoying for him because he failed to clear on the goal and eventually hooked it onto the post and in. He would love to have made amends with a goal there.
Sparrow has been confident all night. Coming off of his line to clear. Williamson. Dequa shields it. Forbes takes it. That foul will go against Forbes.
Well, no matter what happens in this match, I'm sure Riverhounds fans will look at Forbes and everybody else and say that was better. It was more positive. There was more attacking. There was more chances. Dixon was great. Both flanks. Cicerone sharp up front. It was a much better looking Riverhounds performance, even if they only get the 1 point. And I guess if you're a Miami FC fan, where you're thinking, well, we haven't thrown this away. Assuming the result stays like this, we haven't thrown it away like we did against RGV, and it's a very difficult road point. They'll be happy with that.
Three to go from the 5 given. Robinson waiting for an option. Taking now 12, 15 yards in the process, and finally Brad Jensen has enough and will send him back.
Which is frustrating if you're the home side and trying to get things moving. It's different if you were playing for time, but it's just eating his own time off the clock.
Dequa across into space for Velarde. Taken down, advantage is played by Jensen. Not sure there was much of an advantage there. Ball took him all the way to the far side, away from the attack. Griffin over Velarde's head. That advantage did not prove to be advantageous for Pittsburgh. They would have liked the foul in the end. Yellow card shown for it.
Looks like Palacios got the yellow card. That late tackle, says sorry, apologizes, which is great to see. I don't think there's been anything nasty from either side in this match. Everything's been played in the right spirit, right attitude. And in the end, it looks like it's going to be on as even. I've got to say, Pittsburgh will look back at the first 30 minutes and think, maybe we should have got a second. They'll look at the equalizer and think, maybe we should have dealt with that better. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a frustrating Bob Lilly that the press will get to speak to after this game.
2 losses in their first 2 matches at home by a 1-0 scoreline. Now level 1-1 here. And a minute away from at least earning their first home point of the season. And as you mentioned, Gary, Bob Lilly would have liked for it to be 3.
Well, absolutely. After 2 losses at home, you're under huge pressure to get a result. But I'm sure he'll be happy with the way they played. A much, much better performance, especially first half. But as he said, you need the points in the bag, though.
That's one of the things he mentioned with us this week. You want to see that progress. He believes he's seen that progress. You just hope that you're picking up points in the process on the come up to where you want to be, hitting your stride middle of the season. And he'll feel there were points left out there tonight.
Yeah, well, next up against Indy 11, that's a team that's struggling for results at the moment. So, but if they don't get much there, even if they only get a draw, for example, then they go to Tampa. Good luck. Good luck against Tampa. 5 at home, 5 wins.
Welcome to the Atlantic Division. There's no doormat in this division. People might point to the standings and say, oh, look at Loudoun. That's an easy 3 points whenever you see them. Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay will say otherwise after the 2 matches they just had against Loudoun. So no easy 3 points for any team against any team in the Atlantic Division.
Pittsburgh were hanging on for the last 25 minutes against Loudoun when they beat them 3-2.
Maybe a last chance here. Dequa into the box. Shouts for a penalty. Jensen thought about it. He brought the whistle to his mouth, but thought better of it. Griffin keeps it alive. To the end line, sent in. And a goal kick that we will never see because the final whistle blows. But not with that one last questionable decision, one way or the other, from Brad Jensen, who is serenaded with boos as he now leaves the field. Bob Lilly not going to be happy.
Well, it's a difficult one to see if it's a penalty or not. And again, if the referee's not sure, he can't give it. He can't give it on the basis of appeals from the Riverhounds or the fans. You see the Miami players are down and out on the pitch. They've given everything. It's a well-fought point from the visitors' view. Let's have a look at this last moment and just see if there was something in that box that was happening. Dequa on the ball. Nah, there's nothing there. Dequa felt a hand, but it wasn't a push or a pull.
And from this angle, you might be able to see Jensen lifts the whistle to his mouth right there, and then he pulls it back. Yeah. He thought better of it. And again, as we've said all night, Gary, a couple of calls here or there, we agree with them all.
Yep, he's been spot on the referee. There wasn't enough there for me. Touching someone shouldn't be a penalty. If you pull them, that's a different story, but there was no pull there.
Back in a few moments to wrap this up. These teams leaving with a point each after scoring a goal each. Pittsburgh 1, Miami 1. Back in a moment.
Griffin, Danny Griffin, 2-0.
The action is at Highmark Stadium in June.
And a miss, and Vitiello comes up to save the first and then grabs the second.
The Hounds close their June home schedule against the New York Red Bull 2 on Friday, June 25th with a 7 p.m. kickoff. Individual seats on sale now. Visit riverhounds.com or call 412-865-GOAL. Pleasant Valley Golf Club, nestled in the Laurel Highlands of southwestern Pennsylvania, is now open to the public. Enjoy 18 holes of championship golf with a new island green and fully stocked pro shop. Our clubhouse features a large ballroom for weddings or private parties, 2 restaurants serving delicious food, a sports bar, 2 state-of-the-art golf simulators, and an outdoor patio with gas fire pit and picturesque view. Pleasant Valley Golf Club, now open to the public. Summer is almost here, And so are the Riverhounds Academy Summer Technical Clinics. We have 3 sessions which are geared to players interested in developing technical skills in multiple areas over the course of the week. Clinics are led by Riverhounds Development Academy trainers and current professional Riverhounds players. Clinics start July 5th. Open to players 7 to 14 years old. Register online or contact the Academy office at 412-325-7238.
Joe Malva here with Gary Bailey. Bob Lilly there on the field still in Pittsburgh. Was unhappy at the finish of this one. Thought his side might have had a penalty in the last moment. It's not called, and it ends a 1-1 draw between the Riverhounds and Miami FC, taking a point each in this Atlantic Division clash. First time these teams ever met, and they take a point each from the affair. We take a look at the highlights from the match, starting in the first half with the goals.
Yeah, great start for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. One in midfield. Dover pushing forward and tries to get Alex Dixon away. And once he's got that pace, Dixon, very, very hard to stop him. Dickway in the middle, Cicerone 2 versus 2 in the box. Cicerone gets free of his mark and he's got time to pick his spot past Connor Sparrow. And that was one of many chances in the first half of Pittsburgh. The only one they took. They might look back and think maybe they should have had a second, even a third.
People wonder maybe why sometimes broadcasters will mention that after chances. Oh, file that one away, file that one away. You don't know how many you're going to get. Pittsburgh had a lot, didn't capitalize, and then here, Miami does.
Yeah, it's a very, very, very clever finish from Francois. Goes round the goalkeeper, Vitiello. Kilwine's on the line and uses his left foot to try and clear it. All he does is hook it onto the post and into the back of the net.
This might have been the best opportunity of half number 2 for Miami.
Yeah, Martinez, there were suggestions of an elbow earlier, gets away, and he comes back here to hit it on the volley, and that is not far away. He's the one who creates the opportunity. He's the one who nearly sticks it in the back of the net.
The captain almost put them ahead entirely against the run of play. But on the other side of it, Connor Sparrow, the goalkeeper, kept them in it as well.
Yeah, from a tight angle here from Dixon, Sparrow makes the save, pushes it up into the air, so gives his defenders time to react to the rebound. Changes his angle, hands up, solid save.
One of a couple of saves. This one goes wide from Kilwine.
Kilwine does brilliant to time his run. Get up, get his head on it. He just doesn't get enough on to get it on target and at least make Connor Sparrow work.
Pittsburgh had opportunities. Just 3 shots on target, though. Possession leveled off after we saw it heavily in Miami's favor in the first half.
Yeah, Pittsburgh 10 shots overall, 3 on target. They offered more. They were the better side for me. They should have scored more than the 1 goal, and the one they did concede was a little bit soft. No question, Miami leave here the happier of the 2 teams.
And neither team has an easy road ahead either.
Yeah, Pittsburgh go to Indy next and then Tampa. We discussed that already. Miami, Charleston, Battery are on the up and up. Birmingham, none of that's easy. This, as we've said 101 times, this is a tough group. And that's why Bob Lilly is giving them a bit of a, hey guys, we're going to have to fight for every single point on the way to making the playoffs.
3 matches at home in the books for Pittsburgh. 2 losses and now a draw. They thought they should have had more points at Highmark Stadium. Looking to make a splash in the standings, but unable to do so. Still in 5th place behind Miami in the Atlantic Division. A 1-1 draw. Cicerone in the 9th minute. Francois, 45+3. Your goal scorers tonight. For my broadcast partner, Gary Bailey, and the rest of our incredible crew, I'm Joe Malfa. Good night from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 1 for Pittsburgh, 1 for Miami here in USL Championship.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.